Okay, let's check our calendar. 13. What horror movie has 13 in the title? I know! 13 Ghosts! Let's watch that! No? Alright. Friday the 13th it is.
Hello? Who's that? Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
1, 2, 3,
We weren't doing anything. We were just messing with
4, 5, 6,
Must be my imagination.
7,
Can I help you? Hello?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Friday the 13th. You may only see it once, but that will be enough. Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th is an iconic 1980s slasher film directed by Sean S. Cunningham and starring Betsy Palmer and Andre King as well as Kevin Bacon, among others. Friday the 13th is a huge series of films starring Jason Voorhees as our main antagonist. However, I chose to focus on the first movie where, spoiler alert, Jason is not the main killer. Instead, it is his mother, Pamela Voorhees, portrayed by Betsy Palmer. So the reason I chose to review the very first Friday the 13th is because I don't actually like the character of Jason Voorhees very much. I prefer my villains who can talk and interact more as opposed to the silent threatening killer. There are exceptions, of course. I do like Michael Myers in Halloween, but overall I prefer my villains to have a bit more personality, which is why I chose to review the first movie. The cinematography in this movie is clearly inspired by the film Halloween that came out prior to this, because the film uses lots of POV shots from the killer's perspective, hunting and stalking the victims, but also maintaining the mystery as to who the identity of the killer actually is. The special effects in this movie are done by Tom Savini, most famous for his work with George A. Romero's Day of the Dead, which I will be reviewing at a later date. In Friday the 13th, he had a very limited budget, so he had to work closely with cinematographer Barry Abrams to make the effects more believable. And I think they succeed in this because for the time they were very graphic and very brutal to watch. The sound design is still very iconic. The ksh 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 ka 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 has stood the test of time. Anybody who hears that instantly recognizes, it's from Friday the 13th. It's particularly good because it represents the killer stalking each one of the victims in the woods around Camp Crystal Lake, where the film takes place. The acting in this film is overall pretty good, especially with Kevin Bacon's character being the standout role, kickstarting his future career in acting throughout the 1980s and 90s. As well as Adriana King, who plays our final girl, Alice Hardy, in the movie. She gives a very realistic portrayal of someone encountering all these dead bodies and trying to look for help, only to find herself running into the killer herself. Overall, I think this movie is pretty good for a slasher movie, and definitely the best in the Friday the 13th series. The acting is pretty good throughout. The POV cinematography work is great and keeps the mystery alive throughout the movie until we reveal the killer at the end. And the sound design, of course, is very iconic, definitely worth a watch. Overall, I'm going to say, for me, probably a 7 out of 10. And that's just because, personally, I'm not a big fan of this series, but I did enjoy the first one, so 7 out of 10 I think seems fair. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.